Before I begin, can I also commemorate and salute these amazing, amazing ladies that I'm looking at here. They are just fantastic. So brave, so courageous, and so supportive of each other that is an amazing sight for us to see. Having started with this case at the very beginning and seen it grow and seen the relationships grow and the support of you all. Well done, you guys. I think that, as Dean mentioned, it's been now, I think, since we last gathered to speak about the abuse inflicted by Fayyad, and that abuse that was aided and abetted by Harrods, the business that he owned at the time. I can say that there have been many long days and nights spent gathering testimony from the dozens and dozens of brave women who are coming forward. And it's been a difficult time. It's been very hard, speaking personally, and I know for the team, as the number of survivors coming forward has been overwhelming. Each having their own different experience, different allegations from a different period in time. And I know that with a lot of new survivors that have come forward, they've been somewhat concerned at times with any delays in getting back. But I can tell you, quite frankly, we do not rush any person who comes to speak to us. I don't care if they stay on the phone for an hour or 2 hours, and they can phone us at any time of day, and we're always available. But we will not rush through anybody's case. So I don't care. It's been difficult for us doing it, I have to admit, but that is nothing compared to what our survivors have had to experience and what they've been through, and the trauma that they're still going through today when they try to help others and relive what has happened to them in the past. So we're doing the necessary work of listening to the allegations, gathering and supporting evidence, and learning more about Fayyad and the systems and organisations that enabled his abhorrent behaviour. And that understanding is developing, and the scale of it is absolutely horrifying. When we got first involved with Keaton's investigation, we were dealing with 4 ladies. And that's a while ago now, Keaton, isn't it? When we filmed for the BBC this summer with the documentary, it was 19 women, sorry. And then by the time we spoke at the last press conference, we represented 37 survivors of the Harrods abuse. As of today, we've now had inquiries from over 421 people. I say that again, we're handling 421 inquiries. The majority of those contacting us are from the UK, but the claims against Harrods and Fayyad are still coming in from all around the world. Canada, Asia, Australia, America and Europe. And I can give you some breakdown here of some of the countries and the amounts have come in. From the UK and USA, there's 12 ladies from America. Australia, 6 ladies. United Arab Emirates, 3. Canada, 2. And then Denmark, Spain, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Italy, Romania and Malaysia. That, in our opinion, is an industrial scale abuse. Abuse that could have only been perpetrated with a system that enabled the abuse to happen. And that is what is so key to this case, and why this case, as I've said before, in many ways is the worst case of corporate sexual abuse of women that the world has ever known. This system was in place for many, many years, too many years. And now it's time to seek justice on behalf of our survivors so that the world can finally understand the truth of what really happened within the walls of Harrods. We now also have credible evidence of abuse by Mohammed Fayed at Fulham, at Park Lane residences, his estate in Surrey, his aircraft, the Ritz Hotel in Paris, Villa Windsor in France, as well as abuse on his yacht in Saint-Tropez, and so bravely described by our client Melissa, the daughter of a former US ambassador to Britain. And so we are today announcing that we're also working on pursuing a claim against the Al Fayed estate, given how much the abuse was perpetrated in this network beyond Harrods. As Maria said when we last gathered, everywhere Fayed went, abuse followed. Whether you're an ambassador's daughter, the daughter of a famous footballer, or a complete unknown starting their first job in a strange city, it appears that every young lady in his orbit was a target. We make no distinction in our work between those who are known or unknown. We're proud of them all and committed to justice for each and every one of them. I will say that again. We are committed to justice for each and every person who comes to us. Nowhere was a network of abuse more developed than at Harrods. From the so-called development in-store apartments approvals to the owner of his security hunting for targets on the shop floor, to his private office, to the security office swooping in to threaten after abuse or after a survivor had threatened to speak out. It was an organisation-wide system of abuse. Organised abuse. There is a clear evidence of a team of enablers who supported Fayed. We expect these enablers will eventually be named by the press and face further consequences. I've said from the very start of this case, anybody who harmed these ladies in any way, we will be using our best endeavours to hold them accountable. Anybody. We're talking to a number of previous staff members from Harrods who are helping former security staff. They have been incredibly helpful in developing our understanding of the systems that were in place. And I can say plainly that given all we know now, our survivors just do not trust Harrods to do the right thing with regards to a settlement process. That's not me speaking, that's this lady speaking. I mean, would you? I mean, given the continued presence of so many members of staff, senior members of staff from Fayed's regime and with the business who are still there, given his leadership crossover, a fair question, it would seem to me as if we hit what is the busiest time of year for retail. Question whether the people who shop at Harrods trust them to do the right thing. A further question that bears asking: do the brands with concessions with Harrods trust them to do the right thing? And I leave that as a pause for thought here for all of us. To talk more about the concerning Harrods settlement process, I will now hand her over to my colleague Maria.
Thank you, Bruce.